What if there was a simple math rule that traders and investors have used for decades? Something so easy you can calculate it in your head, and it tells you how long it takes to double your money. That rule exists, and it is called the Rule of 72. Today we are breaking down what the Rule of 72 actually is, how traders think about using it, and whether doubling your money in 6 months is realistic, or just another trading myth. Before we go any further, it is important to be clear. This is not a promise of fast profits. This is not financial advice, and this is definitely not a shortcut to guaranteed success. The Rule of 72 does not make you money by itself. What it does is expose the math behind your expectations. Once you understand that math, the way you think about trading changes completely. The Rule of 72 is a mental shortcut used to estimate how long it takes for an investment to double at a given rate of return. The formula is simple. You take the number 72 and divide it by your annual rate of return. The result is the number of years it takes to double your money. For example, if you earn 8% per year, 72 divided by 8 tells you it takes about 9 years to double your money. At 12% per year, it takes roughly 6 years. At 24% per year, it takes about 3 years. Now this is where traders start paying close attention. If someone could earn 144% per year, the math says their money would double in about half a year. That is, 6 months. This is where the idea of doubling your money quickly comes from. Not hype, not marketing, but simple math. Long-term investors usually use the Rule of 72 to think about retirement timelines and compound growth over decades. Traders use it differently. Traders use it to evaluate whether their goals make sense. They ask questions like, what return am I targeting? How much risk does that require? And is that level of performance realistic for my strategy and experience level? The Rule of 72 forces honesty. It shows that faster growth always demands higher returns, and higher returns always require tighter discipline and stronger risk management. This is where most traders struggle. Doubling an account in 6 months does not require one massive trade. It requires consistency. In practical terms, doubling your money in 6 months means averaging roughly 12% per month when compounded, or around 3% per week. That sounds achievable on paper. In reality, it is extremely difficult to do consistently without large drawdowns. The biggest mistake beginners make is trying to hit those numbers with oversized positions. They risk too much on single trades, and one bad move wipes out weeks or months of progress. Professional traders approach this differently. They focus on high probability setups, strict risk limits, and letting compounding do the work over time. The Rule of 72 does not tell you how to trade. It tells you what level of performance your strategy must deliver. Now let's walk through a realistic framework. Imagine starting with a $10,000 account and a goal of doubling it in 6 months. Instead of chasing huge wins, you structure your trading around small, repeatable edges. You might target 2 to 3% gains on winning trades, while risking 1% per trade. Your win rate might be around 50 to 60%, and you might take 3 to 5 trades per week. This approach is not exciting, but it is sustainable. 1 month might look like this: a few solid winning weeks, 1 small losing week, and you end the month up 7 or 8%. That does not feel impressive in isolation, but when compounded month after month, the growth becomes meaningful. This is where the Rule of 72 becomes useful. It turns vague goals into concrete math and forces you to respect the power of compounding. Most people fail with this approach not because the math is wrong, but because their psychology breaks down. After a losing streak, they feel pressure to make the money back quickly. They increase position size. They abandon their rules. 1 bad week wipes out several good months. The Rule of 72 is unforgiving. It does not care how confident you feel or how badly you want the trade to work. It simply reflects the results of your decisions. Successful traders prioritize capital preservation first, consistency second, and growth third. When those priorities are reversed, accounts blow up. Another major misunderstanding is the belief that you must double your money every 6 months forever. That is not how professional trading works. Most successful traders go through different phases. There are periods of aggressive growth, periods of capital protection, and periods of lower risk scaling. The Rule of 72 helps you adjust expectations during each phase, rather than locking you into unrealistic goals. Sometimes slowing down is the smartest decision you can make. So, can the Rule of 70 to help you double your money in 6 months? Mathematically, yes. Practically, it depends on your skill, discipline, and risk control. Psychologically, it is extremely challenging. The rule of 72 is not a strategy. It is a lens. It shows you what your targets really demand and why patience and consistency matter more than hype. Used correctly, it can make you a better trader. Used recklessly, it becomes an expensive lesson. If you found this breakdown helpful, consider liking the video and subscribing for more realistic trading education. Let me know in the comments what monthly return you personally aim for and why. I will see you in the next video.